Hello friends, welcome to Business Hologram YouTube channel. So we are starting a new segment today of company and stock analysis. So we will be majorly focusing on small cap and mid cap companies in our analysis. So today we are starting with the company Birlasoft Ltd. So firstly I will give a company overview. Birlasoft Ltd is a leading Indian multinational IT services and consulting company. It is a key entity within the multi-billion dollar CK Birla Group, providing digital transformation, enterprise solutions, and IT consulting to global clients. We'll discuss the corporate profile of the company. It was founded in 1990. Headquarters is in Pune. Current chairman is Amita Birla, and CEO and MD is Angan Guha, CFO is Chandrasekhar Tyagarajan. It has a global presence, operates across 27 sites in the Americas, Europe, Asia Pacific, and the Middle East, with a workforce of approximately 11,645 professionals. If we talk about the business verticals and services, it is into manufacturing of IT, which is the largest contributing factor of its business. Like it is into service line of enterprise resource planning, then also into the banking and financial services, providing cloud and infrastructure, then life sciences and healthcare, digital transformation and AI, then into energy resources and utilities, providing data analytics and related services. The current stock price of the company is 392. So the stock price stands at that level. And also, if you talk about the market capitalization of the company, it is 10,967 crore. So it falls into the mid cap segment. Next, we will analyze the financial performance of the company, especially of the last 4 quarters. The data is displayed in the screen. The revenue and net profit of the last 4 quarters. You can very well see the figures. So some of the key highlights that we can obtain from this data is the market expansion. The standout feature has been the sharp recovery in EBITDA margins, climbing from a low of 12.4 in Q1 FY26 to 18.2% in Q3 FY26. This was driven by operational efficiencies, a shift towards higher margin managed services, and favorable exchange rates. Q3 FY26 saw the company's best deal signing performance of the fiscal year, with a total contract value of $202 million, nearly 90% higher than the previous quarter. Manufacturing remains the dominant vertical, contributing around 37% of revenue, in which infrastructure and ERP were the fastest growing service lines in the most recent quarter. The company is undergoing tail account rationalization, reducing its active client count to focus on larger and strategic partnerships. Cash reserves have grown consistently, reaching 24,914 million rupees by the end of 2025, providing a strong cushion for future investments and dividends. Now we'll discuss the major strategic focus of the company. First is AI first approach. The company has successfully deployed AI-led capabilities across BFSI and manufacturing to enhance competitive edge and operational efficiency. Next point that we are talking is managed services shift. Under CEO Angan Guha, Birlasoft has intentionally shifted towards outcome-based work and offshore delivery to sustain margins. Next is client rationalization. This we already discussed in the previous slide. Recent strategy involves focusing on larger, more profitable engagements, leading to a deliberate reduction in active client count to prioritize quality over quantity. Now we will see the ownership structure of the company. Promoters hold 40.51% of the shares. Mutual fund around 22%, foreign institutional investors around 11%, retail and individual investors around 25%, other domestic institutions 1%, insurance companies near to 1%. We can clearly see that there is uh, a considerable promoter stability. The CK Birla Group remains the controlling entity with a steady 40% stake. There has been negligible chance in promoter holding over the negligible change in the promoter holding over the last 4 quarters, signaling long-term commitment. A high institutional interest, combined institutional holding, that is a FII plus a DII plus mutual funds, standing at roughly 35%. This high level of institutional backing often indicates professional confidence in the company, especially in the company's AI first pivot and margin expansion strategy. Mutual fund growth. Mutual funds have been notably active in the stock, maintaining a significant 22% stake, which is high compared to many other mid cap IT peers. Then we'll talk about the public float. The free float consists of approximately 16.6 crore shares, providing healthy liquidity for daily trading on the NSE and BSE. Now we will move to the most important part, that is the financial ratio analysis. First, we will start with the profitability ratios. As you can see in the screen, the EBITDA margin stands at 18.2. The industry average is in the range of 16.5 to 17.5. So we can the verdict, final verdict, we can say it as outperforming in this aspect. Next is operating margin stands at 16.12. Industry average stands at 14 to 15.5%. So the value is strong for Birlasoft. Profit after tax margin stands at 8.9%, where the industry average is 9 to 11.5%. So it's slight underperforming in this aspect. If we talk about the return on equity, the company value stands at 12.47%, where the industry average is 18 to 22%. So it's at a lower side on return on equity aspect. Uh, ROCE stands at return on capital employed stands at 25.4, where the industry average is 24 to 28. So still it is competitive in this aspect. Talking about the return on equity part, reflects current capital efficiency below the top tier mid cap peers. So this was the profitability ratios of the company. It stands at decent levels related if we compare with the industry average, that is comparing with the mid cap IT companies. Next, we will move to the leverage ratios of the company. Birlasoft Limited remains one of the most financially stable companies in the mid-cap IT sector, operating with a net cash position. So, as you can see, its debt to equity ratio stands at nil value, where the industry average in mid-cap IT sector is 0.15 to 0.25. So, it is at a very superior position. It is virtually debt-free, whereas the peers often carry some amount of debt, especially in the short-term view. Interest coverage ratio, you can see its value stands at 30.73. The industry average is 15 to 22. The value is excellent. Next, we will discuss the valuation ratios of the company with respect to the industry average. Birlasoft Limited is trading at valuation multiples that reflects its status as a high-quality mid-cap IT firm. As you can see, the PE ratio stands at 23.35 to 23.5 range. The industry average is 22.23 to 27 range. So this is fairly valued in comparison with the peers, and the value is also is at a decent position of below 25 range. Next is the price to book value. As you can see, it stands at 6.54 to 6.97 range, where the industry average is 3.10 to 4.5. So it is trading at a slight premium value. Next is the price to sales value. It stands at 2.0 to 2.07. Industry average stands at 1.85 to 2.15. So it is well within the average range, and it is aligned to the market sentiments. So that's all about the valuation ratios. Next, we will move to the SWOT analysis of Birlasoft. First, we will get into the strengths of the company. First point that we can discuss is strong financial foundation. The company remains debt-free with a massive cash reserve of over 2,491 crores, providing a safety net and capital for potential manufacturing and related activities. Next is the CK Birla Group pedigree. Backed by a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate, Birlasoft benefits from long-standing industry relationships and stable governance. Next point that we can consider is improving revenue quality. A deliberate shift from staff augmentation to fixed price outcome-based contracts has driven EBITDA margins to a strong 18.2% in recent quarters. Next is the top tier client retention. Over 20 of its top customers have been with the firm for 10 plus years, showcasing high trust and delivery consistency. Next, we will discuss some of the weaknesses of the company. First is vertical concentration. The company is heavily reliant on the manufacturing sector, approximately 40% of revenue, making it vulnerable to industry specific downturns and global supply chain shifts. Next point that I have listed is lower asset efficiency. Its return on equity of roughly 12 to 14% lags behind several mid-cap peers who often achieve 18 to 20%, suggesting room for better capital deployment. Next is client concentration. A significant portion of revenue is tied to its top 10 to 20 accounts. The ongoing tail account rationalization, that is, cutting smaller, less profitable clients, may lead to short term revenue volatility. Next, we will talk about the opportunities in front of the company. First point to consider is AI and Gen AI leadership. Birlasoft is aggressively deploying AI agents for BFSI and manufacturing. Early wins in conversational AI for payments signify a high growth runway. Next is ERP modernization wave. Large scale migrations to SAP and Oracle Cloud among global enterprises provide a steady pipeline for Birlasoft's core ERP expertise. Next is cloud and DevOps expansion. Having recently achieved AWS DevOps competency, the company is well positioned to capture high value digital transformation projects in the US and UK markets. And now we will discuss about some of the threats in front of the company. First point to consider is global macro uncertainty. Potential US tariff changes and high interest rates have caused some clients to defer discretionary IT spending, particularly in manufacturing and life sciences. Next point that I have listed is intense talent competition. While Birlasoft has a healthy attrition rate, the cost of hiring specialized AI and cloud architects remains high, putting pressure on bottom line growth. Next is currency volatility. As an export oriented firm, any significant appreciation of the Indian rupee against the USD or GBP could erode the margin gains achieved through offshore delivery. So, friends, that's all about the company analysis of Birlasoft in a nutshell. Please remember that this analysis is for informational purpose and just as an introduction to the company, and does not constitute any investment advice. Investors should conduct their own due diligence before taking any investment decisions. Please refer all related documents of the company and make a decision accordingly. So that's all about the video. Thank you.